Hello. Good evening, and welcome to the first episode of Cyber Talks with Jim. Firstly, a big shout out to everyone who cheered on my LinkedIn announcement. Your support turned my caffeine jitters into a pre-show excitement. Thanks again. It got me really excited. Again, this is my first episode. Uh, I will definitely would love some feedback. How did I do? What did I do wrong? Some criticism, good or bad, doesn't matter. Please share your feedback. It will really help me to improve. It will be good for Chip as well. So, shall we begin? First up, let's dive into Dell's recent debacle. I think it appears Dell has been busy, okay? Not just with PCs, but unfortunately with a major data leak involving around $49 million customers, not million dollars. Sorry. The culprit, a figure known as Menelik. When I heard the name, I felt like it was like a less than a threat actor. It was more like a reject from a Game of Thrones character. But this incident raises a critical question. Are our data protection efforts merely surface level checks? In Dell's scenario, there was a portal API which was open, threat actors trying to reach out but didn't work out, and that's what happened. But it seems we are so focused on individual trees that we might be losing sight of the forest. Or should I say, the whole Dell ecosystem. Speaking of losing sight, let's shift to the situations where I think the visibility is clearly lacking, but the stakes are super high. I'm talking about Lockbit ransomware. Meet Dmitry Yurovich. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Better known by his alias Lockbit Sub, and few others, of course, who might as well be collecting them. Recently, sanctioned by Australia and many other countries following a global trend, I think Dmitry's case exemplifies an ongoing challenge. In my opinion, despite these efforts, I have noticed 38 Australian organizations highlighted on ransomware leak sites this year alone, and not to mention the emergence of new ransomware families. So, are these sanctions effective, or are we merely expanding our collection of cybercriminals Hall of Famers? This makes me wonder, like, if we are truly cutting down the threats or just the ribbon at their public unveiling. Lockbit lockdown hashtags, maybe a good hashtag. Yeah. And lastly, from unveiling to another, let's talk about another Australian organization, Firstmac, which is a home loan provider that found itself in some torrential data spill. Threat actors didn't just access the data, they unleashed it. And they unleashed as an Oprah style. You get some data, everybody gets some data. And they dumped everything from loan details to personal addresses in staggering 500 gig of data, free for all. The details were scanned, which brings to the mind the recent Zscaler fumble, where confusion reigned over whether that test system were compromised or not. But it reminds us that clarity in crisis communication is just as critical as cybersecurity itself. So let's hope Firstmac response is swift and clear, unlike Zscaler's initial memory lapse about their own systems. Hashtag Firstmac fiasco. With this, I'd like to conclude my first episode. Before I wrap up, I believe if our current approach to cyber threats is like bringing spoon to a sword fight. Anywho, remember the only thing secure in cybersecurity is that nothing is secure. Interesting. Until next time, keep your data locked down and your sense of humor up. Stay safe. Good night.